Well, let's get this show on the road, baby. Yeah. How y'all doing? You know, this is an interesting time for us, because I have done movies with Tay for 60 episodes, and to put it on the shelf as a season finale, if you will, and open up a new series is crazy. So if you listen to the pod on Spotify or Apple, the name has officially been changed to Real Talk with Tay. And then based on what category you want to listen to, is kind of how you will find the show. So for example, if you're wanting to watch uh TV shows with Tay, you'll go to season one because this is the first season, if you will. You'll go to season one and watch TV shows with Tay, and then for uh movies with Tay, it's season one. It's 60 episodes long, so you can literally get caught up as TV shows with Tay is rolling out. You know, it's you can do what you want to do, but TV shows with Tay is going to be a little bit different. It may be a little bit shorter, may only be about 20 or 30 minutes per episode. It just kind of depends on, what we're talking about. If I have a guest, if I don't have a guest, and, if it's a specific episode and so forth. So, just get prepared for it because this is Real Talk with Tay. But anyway, without further ado, welcome to the very first episode of TV Shows with Tay. And what are we going to talk about? TV shows. However, this layout's going to be a little bit different. A little bit. Just a little bit. So, as you notice, there's no bucket hat. Mainly because the locks are done. So I really don't put a bucket hat on the fresh locks. But, let's jump right into it. So, today we're going to be discussing a oldie. A back in the day, if you will. Um, it was an episode I watched of the Steve Harvey Show, season 2, episode 12. Um, in that episode, it's it kind of coexists with my new podcast channel. Sorry, my ear is itching. I apologize. Give me a second. What's going on, y'all? It's your host with the most real Tay Nicole. You know I'm always bringing y'all a new flavor. If you don't know, now you about to know. Listen, TV Shows with Tay is taking a full effect as season 1 of Movies with Tay wrapped up last week. This week we are starting a new season 1 of TV Shows with Tay. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So welcome to Real Talk with Tay, and that's real as in REEL. Talk with Tay. Y'all like that? I'm clever. I know. Anyway, this is Real Talk with Tay Nicole. This is an episode of TV Shows with Tay. So, today we're diving into a classic, a all around old school, something I grew up on. Don't know about you, but I definitely grew up on watching this show. We're diving into nothing other than the Steve Harvey Show. We're specifically talking about a specific episode of a specific season today, though. Not the entire show as an overall, but mainly a specific part of the season, the show, if you will. So, the episode or the season we're talking about season 2, episode 12, if you want to go watch it yourself so you can give me your own opinion in the comments. But in season 2, episode 12, this episode is about Regina getting her heart broken by her boyfriend and Steve having to um reevaluate his masculinity or his macho-ness, if you will, right? So check this out. Basically, Steve and Regina, if you don't know, got this old high school drama where he made fun of her for being fat back in the day, and now that she's skinny and fine and whatever the case may be, Steve want her now. And she low key wants Steve too because she liked him back in high school low key, but they kind of got this little unforbidden fruit love type of shit going on, right? Well, Regina was dating this dude named Warrington, right? And she dissed Steve and was with Warrington or whatever the case may be. So Steve ain't waiting on Regina. Steve then moved on. So he started dating this chick named Rachel. So The episode starts out with Steve at his apartment with his roommate Cedric and his girlfriend Lovita and Rachel. They all chilling and kicking when Regina comes at the house. She basically, her and Warren got into a big argument and he broke up with her. He dumped her, kicked her to the curb. Pew! So that's how she made the scene. And basically, the chick that Steve is dating, Rachel, she I forget what her current job was, but she basically used to be a therapist coach, like a love coach, basically. So instead of her getting jealous of Regina coming to Steve's house and seeking for Steve's assistance, if you will, instead she grows a relationship and a bond with Regina and Lovita. They go to back to Rachel's house and they go have a girls' night, right? Leaving Steve and Cedric to be like, well, what the hell? So during that conversation, they brought up this argument, if you will, about males trying to control a relationship with materialistic things and women leading with their heart, right? So with Rachel being a relationship counselor, or an relationship counselor, they were having this moment where basically Rachel asked Regina what exactly happened between her and Warren, and Regina told her that Warren bought her a car and told her she should be lucky to have the car. All kind of little stupid shit, right? So Rachel was like, "Oh, that's him trying to be controlling and possessive with materialistic things, blah blah blah." And Steve like, "Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! The brother bought a BMW. Or no, it was a Benz. He was like, a brother bought a Benz, which is true. He did buy you a Benz, a Benz. Not saying that he deserves the right to disrespect her, but he did buy you a Benz, and I feel him. I bought you a whole Benz. Be grateful and take it. Like, I don't know what they never really disclosed what Regina and Warrington's full blown argument was about or how they even got to that point. But for him to throw up the Benz in her face, I kind of get her side too. But at the same time, I would have just took the Benz and pieced out anyway. But anyway, so while Steve is, basically not taking up for Warrington because he don't like the fool anyway, but at the same time he's like, show the man some respect. At least he did, but he bought you a car, this, that, and the third, and the ladies are like, excuse you? And Cedric was on Steve's side at first, but then Cedric got scared because Lovita's his girlfriend. He ain't trying to be, insensitive. So like I said, the ladies ended up growing a bond. Well, since they now have this bond instead of a rivalry, like most men would expect, uh, not really necessarily his ex, but his ex, because Regina ain't his ex, but uh, ex fling, if you will, whatever you want to call it, ex. I don't know. They got this weird thing going on so far in season 2, but because I'm rewatching the show right now, and then I'm on season 3, but basically the ladies they get to hanging out, they spending time together, and at this point, Steve and Cedric they don't have no access to Rachel or Lovita because they too busy nurturing Regina back to health. So Steve like, yo, we gotta get Regina back with Warrington. Cause this ain't gonna work for me. Like Regina don't want me, but Rachel do. And I need you to, you know. So basically, Steve is left to feel like he's being too macho. And when he think he's got partners, he don't. He realizes he's really outnumbered because Cedric really against him because Cedric don't want to be in the doghouse with Lovita. Regina still kind of sort of hate his guts from high school. And Rachel, she and her men are being dogs phase. And then that's it. There's nobody else for. And then Lovita really ain't fucking with Steve. But anyway, so my bad. I was trying to figure out what I was getting at. So basically, to give you like a full insight, this whole episode was the battle of the sexes type of episode. Even though it was very short and quick, it was really a battle of sexes, right? So it kind of basically went to go to show that men and women think completely different in a lot of things, right? So for Steve felt like the only way he would able to get access back to Rachel and get her back underneath his wing and his spell, if you will, is to get Regina out of her hair and get Regina out of her face. So what's the best thing to do? Force two people that are clearly wanting to be together back in each other's presence so you can get your way. However, excuse me, at the same time, the show was showing how if women bonded together instead of being jealous of one another, a lot of times we can help heal each other. Because in most cases, women lead with love and men lead with um I can't think of the exact term. It's not aggressiveness. It's oh dang it. If you could think of what if you could if it, drop in the comments what you because I know what I'm trying to say and I just can't get the word right. But women are nurturers and they lead with love, and men just they have a different way of leading. They lead with it's a word I can't think of. I swear to God I'm trying to think of because I'm not trying to downplay men at all, but it's a word I can't think of. Anyway, but so during the show, Steve really was refusing to show a sensitive side to the ladies and be sensitive to Regina's situation. All he cared about was getting back in with Rachel. So he did whatever he felt like it was needed to get Regina back with Warrington, to the point where when he did, Warrington was once again throwing money in Regina's face. And although Steve took a moment to step back and look at what Warrington was doing and try to address it, he got shut down by Regina. So it was like this whole episode was just so contradictory in a way. The whole episode was so contradictory because y'all was mad at Steve for telling Regina to accept Warrington's gift because Warrington was right, just accept the damn gift. But then you turn around and when Warrington throws more gifts and more extravagant shit in your face, you turn around and you go, telling Steve to mind his business. But it's like when he just sat there and said that you said you didn't want that kind of stuff and that you just need attention and love, now you mad at Steve for speaking up on something you were just complaining about. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, how can you how can you get mad at the fact that I'm telling you, the that this is not what you said you wanted. So much that, they had little male versus female jokes in there, but they weren't really like obvious jokes. If you ain't grown, you ain't really gonna catch it, right? But one thing that Regina said that um when she was mad at Warrington, whatever, they was in like a teachers meeting or whatever for some type of chaperone thing or what have you. And she made a comment because Steve was basically asking her, oh, it was a field trip they were supposed to go on. And Steve was asking her, if there's two characters named Romeo and Bullethead, two idiots basically. And he was pretty much asking her, if, since those two idiots have academic issues, if there's a way she would make an exception for them to go. And she made a comment, men always stick together or something like that. Basically like dogs will be dogs, boys will be boys type of shit. And when she said it, I'm thinking to myself, well, ain't that what you, Rachel and Lovita did? You imposed on their night that they were having as a couple's night and interjected your emotional behavior because you got locked out. That's why she was at Steve's house. She got locked out of her apartment because she threw her keys at Warrington. Instead of her going to go find her keys, she decides to go to Steve's house. So low key, here's the whole episode, like I said, was so contradictory. So here's my take on it. After you watch, especially just watching the whole Steve Harvey show in general, from season one to the end of it, the whole show is fucking contradictory. But this episode in particular, the reason why I picked this one in particular is because I'm actually on Steve's side with this one. I'm actually on Steve's side with this one, mainly because, first of all, y'all grown, right? So if you didn't want a gift from a man, or if you didn't want a gift from anybody, all you had to do is say you didn't want it. If a person keeps trying to force you to take a gift, just don't take it. No one can really force you to take anything. So to me, just from my knowledge of the show anyway, basically everything I know about it, to me, Regina was just looking for a way out with Warrington. And it's like, to me, just this episode alone went to go to show that Regina just never wanted to see Steve really with another woman, let alone happy with another woman. Just the same thing with Steve, though. Steve ain't no angel, but the only difference between Regina and Steve is Steve didn't give a damn. if Regina moved on and was dealing with another man. He actually respected that and let it be. I mean, he made his little jokes, but when she was with Warrington, he kept it cute. He didn't impose. He just moved on and found him somebody else to date. But every time Steve found someone else to date, she'd always intervene. Regina would always intervene, especially with this episode because she knew he was dating another woman. So why would you come to my house because you locked yourself out of your house to borrow my phone with that emotional ass shit, knowing Lovita here, knowing that Lovita going, what I'm saying? To me, it just was like petty as hell to do that. Cause why the fuck would you come to my house? I don't give a damn if you and Warrington had an argument. Take your ass to your house and have them unlock your apartment door at your house. What did you need to come to my house for? To me, that was her way of intervening between Steve and Rachel. I think she felt like because instantly, if you go watch the episode, instantly Regina got defensive when Rachel was getting ready to check in on her. She got super defensive. It was as if she wanted Rachel to react in a jealous manner so that they can argue, and then Rachel would leave, and then now Steve don't got nobody because she ain't got nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like that to me, that's what they gave. You lost Warrington, so now I got to lose Rachel. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of was honestly, I was really on Steve's side with this one because to me, Regina was wrong as hell. Don't come to my house. You and your man got into an argument. Don't come to my house. You know how you, especially because you ain't stupid. You knew Lovito tell you everything, so you already knew we was having couples night. You already knew that, so that's why you pulled up. Regina wasn't fooling nobody. So me personally, this particular episode, and actually for real, from season one to where I'm at currently, I kind of really see Steve's point of view on this, and I really kind of actually agree more with Steve than anybody. Now there are some things that Steve then said and done in specific episodes, and I'm like, yeah, no, I can't agree with you on that, Steve. But for the most part, Steve was right. Regina just wanted to be with Steve, but she wanted to make him suffer the way she felt like he made her suffer in school for making fun of her for being fat. But I mean, it's school, high school at that, and then you bad. The kicker would be in the slap in the face for Steve already is you made fun of me. You was calling me fat and everything else, and now look at you. You want a piece of this piggy Greer pie. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know. I don't think in this episode in particular and in general, I don't think Steve is always insensitive or super macho. I think he's just straight to the point, straight shooter, no chaser. I think he just really don't care about hurting people's feelings if it comes with telling them the truth and not sugarcoating it. And I mean, I'm the same way. So I kind of really can't say, and especially in this episode, because that's to me, that's what they wanted to focus on this episode was to try to make it look like Steve was insensitive and super macho, but he really wasn't. He was just really telling the truth. Now, only thing I kind of sort of level with Steve on was about the Ben situation because he kind of went a little too far. But I understood what he was saying. Like he got you a Benz, you should have been grateful. But to tell her, there's some respect is due, it was a little too far. But the whole episode was just freaking contradictory, especially with Regina. Like I don't know. The whole episode just really pissed me off because all you had to do was reject his gift when he gave it to you in the first place. But because y'all got into an argument, so now you wanna reject the gift. Y'all get into a super bad argument. Y'all break up, and then you come to yo. I don't even know if I can call Steve her ex, but you come to a man that has feelings for you, who's currently trying to date and move on and be with somebody else. You come to his place, all emotional, because you want to fuck up what he got going on. That's selfish, bro. That is selfish. If you ain't giving up the piggy pie, because that's what he call it, piggy. If you ain't giving up the piggy pie, then why is you bothering that man? Leave him alone. You don't want him. And if you want him, stop playing. Because like I said, I'm only on season 3. I think it's like 2 or 3 more seasons left for me to watch. But yeah, I don't know. Do y'all think if y'all have ever watched the Steve Harvey Show, tell me, do y'all think that Steve was just way too macho, whether it was just in this episode in general or the entire season in general? do, or not seasons in general. Like, what do y'all think? Do y'all think he was just way too macho, or do y'all think that he was just being honest with no sugar on top? If you watch this episode, watch it closely, because if you don't, you'll miss some stuff. But if you watch this episode, tell me if you agree with me. Do you agree that Steve was not being insensitive and not macho? Or do you think that he was being insensitive and too macho? Like, what do y'all like? If you watch this episode, let me know. If you got Netflix, you can actually watch this on Netflix. I'm not sure where else you can watch it just yet. Um, if I find everywhere that you can watch the Steve Harvey Show, you'll probably see their little labels at the bottom of where you can watch it, whether it's paid or free. I'll put all that down there for you if I can. But just let me know. Like, drop it in the comments. Tell me what you think. If you've seen the Steve Harvey Show, tell me, was Steve Harvey's character super macho, insensitive, or was he just a straight shooter, no chaser, and blunt, and just was honest, brutally honest? Um Also, just drop your take in the comments about this episode. Tell me if you like the way I did this episode. Tell me if you would like me to add a little bit more. As y'all notice, I still got my phone, but that's just to keep me on track and make sure I don't, derail segments or what have you. But yeah, just let me know in the comments, one, what you think about the Steve Harvey Show if you have or have never seen it. Two, tell me how you feel about TV shows with Tay. This is the first episode, so let me know if you like the way I'm doing this, because this is more of a conversational base. It's just me, putting jotting down points of things that I wanted to bring up. I might not necessarily, like I said, go over an entire season. I might just go over a specific episode, or just maybe speak about the characters like I did today. I kind of did a little bit of all of it, if you want to be honest. Um, but let me know if you want me to cover other episodes of the Steve Harvey Show or other episodes of throwbacks. Um, in all honesty, I'm probably going to do another random episode, unless you have a specific TV show and or episode you want me to talk about, whether it's the Steve Harvey Show or any other episode. Drop it in the comment section and let me know. I will, if I'm able to get to it and able to watch it, I will watch it and give my honest opinion on it. If you don't know, this is technically not the real first episode of TV Shows will take, because it's actually one already out, that's been out for over a year, I think. It was done on Power Book 2, but to me, this is the real official TV Shows will take episode, because the other one was just done at a peer request from a Facebook request. But either way it go, in the end, when it came to watching the Steve Harvey Show, especially this particular episode, it was kind of strange to me how quickly Regina, Rachel, and Lovita all just became buddy buddy. It was a little strange to me, mainly because it's one thing. There's no way, and this is just me speaking it from a woman's standpoint, there's no way that I know y'all two had a thing for each other, and I'm gonna be cool with her just popping up. Now, I'm not gonna be rude to her or disrespect her, because clearly I see she in it. But I'm not about to be buddy buddy with you either. If anything, I'm gonna address that with him. Like, I don't know if you comfortable with her just popping up, but that is a little strange that she just popped up out of nowhere. Like, she ain't got no cell phone, she ain't got nothing. I wouldn't have been too cool with that. I wouldn't have made a big deal out of it, but I wouldn't have been too cool with that, just to keep it a buck, because that's a little strange for you to just pop up to this man's house and you know I don't know. That's just weird. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It was just weird. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe because I'm just a different breed of a type of woman. That maybe that's why it kind of bothered me a little bit. Because I'm like, it's two sides to this coin. Like I'm sorry. I truly just that really bothered me this episode. That episode. Because I was watching it. Because that episode still stands out to me now. Like, I didn't watch several episodes in the season 3 now, and that one episode of season 2 made me think, like, how are we mad at Steve because Warrington dumped you and you interrupted my date night, and I told you the truth and you mad at me? And then when I tried to help you and let Warrington know to maybe focus more on the intimacy and the connection with you, You tell me to mind my big head business. So it's like what the hell? But listen, drop it in the comments section if you would love to see me do another episode of the Steve Harvey Show, or I will pick another random episode, whether it's a throwback episode or a current episode. It may be a current one because I may do a review on All the Queen's Men season 4, this last episode that just dropped. I might do a review about that because that one has some hot in it. Or I might talk about my season 4 opener of Zatima, because that's my show. Because the second episode of Zatima threw me off because I did not see that coming. So let me know in the comment section because if you don't tell me in the comment section by the time I get ready to shoot another episode, I don't know what to tell you because it won't get done until the next week then. So if you want to see your episode get talked about next week, drop it in the comment section. But until then, y'all have been great. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me for as long as y'all have. TV shows with Tay is gonna be amazing. Movies with Tay was amazing. That season alone did over 20,000 views. And I understand it's 60 episodes, so 20,000 views don't sound like a lot when it comes to YouTube, and I get it. But to me, it was a lot. And actually, I think it just hit 25K views. I got to go back and go read. No, no. Did I say 20 views? I may say 30K views, not 25. And I think it just hit 35K today. I think, if I'm not mistaken. I think that podcast episode segment playlist did like 30K. So let's get TV shows to take up there. Let's get this channel rocking and rolling. We about 305 subscribers away from 500. I think we can do it. I think we can get there. I believe in y'all. Y'all been rocking with me for a year, and I appreciate it. Like I said, if you want to see me do another episode about a 90s sitcom or any other TV show, drop it in the comments section. I love y'all, and peace out. TV's with Tay. TV with Tay. Hey, it's TV's with Tay. It's TV with Tay. Hey, it's TV shows with Tay. It's TV shows with Tay. It's TV shows with Tay. Hey, it's TV shows with Tay. Pow, pow. It's TV shows with Tay. It's TV shows with Tay. It's TV shows with Tay. It's TV. It's TV. It's TV shows with Tay. All right.